Pop Show. I'm your man, Rice D, aka Pops the American Dad, also known to my Facebook people as Uncle Rice.
Mr. Gold, Go, or you could just say Coach G for short.
We appreciate everybody popping in and locking in. If you enjoy the content, make sure that you like, comment, and subsidy in the comments when you come in. We want to know who's watching, where you're from, and how you doing today.
For sure.
Hey, now I'm gonna tell you, Go. We was talking about some stuff a little bit earlier, and we gonna get into it.
For
But
sure.
before we even do that, let me make sure I share it out
I
to the
was just
groups.
gonna say, yeah, for sure. Everybody needs to be able to tap in. Everybody needs to be able to drop their cities. Everybody that watches the video, I want to know, hey, what's the weather in y'all city? Cause I ain't gonna lie, our weather is on hell right now. So drop
Yeah, it's
y'all,
pretty hot.
yeah, drop y'all cities. Let us know how the vibrations is on y'all end, and tell us how hot it is out towards your way, or if y'all having a nice summer day.
Yeah, no doubt, because it's definitely warm up here in the Midwest. I
Warm.
don't know where y'all are, but trust me, it's pretty warm up here. We got a heat wave going on. Yesterday, when they was dropping the temps in their city, everybody was talking about it's hot. So I'm just wondering, did anybody get that cool off yet? Because
Man,
we ain't got that cool off yet. The cool off has not checked in over here yet. I'm not sure when it will.
but you know what though? Let me say this though, pops. The vibrations of the day is always good. I'm not gonna lie. Today's a vibe. Like I won't even cap. Today's a vibe.
No sugar. Hey, and also got food on the grill, so you know that make it better to me.
For
If I
sure.
got some food on the grill, then I'm good to go.
Oh, always, especially on a summer day. Always.
Now, I want to make sure if you are new to the page, don't hesitate to give us a follow. Check out some of the videos on the page. If you're not familiar with us, you rocking with the hottest father and son live duo on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube also. Rice's Rules on YouTube, so go over there and subscribe up. Hey, if it's about hot topics, Pops and Go gonna chop it.
You know.
It's just that simple.
I look at it and say for what it is, pops. This is one of those days where, if you can't get by some water, get by some AC. If you can't get by some AC, get by some central air. Can't get
Man,
by some central air, go to take yourself to one of them splash pads or some water to
the
put
coolest center.
Man, hey, I look at it and say for what it is. This is definitely one of those summer days that we always ask for when it's cold and it's snow outside. So let's enjoy it while we got it.
Hey, but you know what that also make me think of though? I wanna send prayers up to anybody that's out here in this heat and don't have anywhere to go. You
Mm,
understand what I'm saying? Because everybody, hey, we all just one bad month away from having a bad year. So we always got to make sure that we think about the people that ain't as fortunate, that don't get a chance to have what they want.
now, pops, I ain't gonna lie. We was talking off camera, and it's something I want to bring up, and
All right.
I just want to kind of jump into it because it's something to me that was important.
Okay.
Discernment skills, pops.
All right.
For some reason or not, why is discernment skills only used for the bad and not used for the good? Like you only hear people talk about discernment skills when they're talking about um, finding out something negative or catching somebody up cheating or
Being a red flag.
seeing a red flag. You never hear discernment skills used for the good. So is discernment just for the bad or
It's supposed to be for everything that you do.
give me
But in my opinion, many times you got a lot of people that allow their feelings and their wants and their needs to interrupt their discernment.
mm,
You got a lot of folks, look,
I was like, give me game.
for instance, you know good and well that you can't really afford to have somebody new in your life. But you see her, she looks so good, you own her.
Mm,
You get her number, and now you can't maintain that relationship. You blame her and say that, oh, she digging for gold. But really, when you got with her and approached her, you were in the negative already. You was in the red.
mm,
But we don't use discernment skills for that. Why? Because that would eliminate you being able to give in to that little weak desire that's got you that's got you in a headlock.
okay. So my question to you is, do you think men are moving with discernment skills when they're entering a relationship, and do you think women are moving with proper discernment skills when they're entering a relationship?
Some, because men and women are monoliths, so
Okay.
we can't say that all of anything. But let's just be real. In the 21st century world of dating, most of the time discernment is not used. People are judging by their eyes, they choosing with their eyes, and they choosing with their needs. Instead of them actually choosing with their morals, values, character, all those little things that people like to forget about nowadays that are the real glue that hold the relationship together.
I'm gonna keep it a buck with you, pops. Nowadays, young people only use that word discernment when it comes to negativity. Like
Okay.
I've never seen a younger person use discernment when it comes to, hey, that's a good person. This is going to be a good relationship, and this is going to flourish not only me but that person.
Yeah, because discernment goes both ways. It goes both ways.
I
If
think.
I would know,
Okay.
it goes both ways because if you have good discernment skills, you can see. Let's, for instance,
Okay.
you meet a girl, she's beautiful, or ladies, you meet a guy, he's extremely handsome.
Okay.
You start to talk to him, and you can barely understand what he's saying to you. Not because he's speaking a foreign language, but
speaking Ebonics.
He's basically no, he's told everything is slang.
Okay.
And you are a professional. You went to college, you done this, you done that. Discernment would tell you that you two might not be on the same level. But what people do nowadays is if that person looks good enough, they're gone like the light green.
Okay, so my interpretation of what you just said was discernment is not having to let the whole situation play out for you to understand how the situation could play out due to the elements that's involved. But no different than how scientists will look up this material, and if I put this material with this material, chances are it's gonna kaboom.
It won't work. And they only know that because they study both of the materials. See, you can't just use discernment when you want to. See, it's going on the whole time, but people just block it out. It's just like you got a little man on your shoulder and he talking in your shoulder and he trying to tell you, don't do it, don't do it. But your eyes is looking like, man, I want to do it. Your body following your eyes like, I want to do it too. So what happens then? What happens then? You choose that most primal urge if you're not rooted in your values, your morals, and your character. See, you can't think that you lead with your looks every day and then character just gonna kick in. Character is just like anything else. You have to practice being a man of high character on a daily basis. You can't just, oh, I met a woman with class, now I'm classy. It don't work that way because that's like they say you can't put lipstick on a pig. You can't put a three-piece suit on a bear.
Oof. Okay.
It's the same thing.
But some people like Beauty and the Beast.
They like, and you know what? That's a really good.
Because I'm gonna keep it a buck with you, pops. A lot of times, beauty is attracted to the beast. They even make cartoons about it on the lines of saying like, okay, well, you can be higher level, and the person that you do talk to can be a brute in a way, because when you seen him at the table, he wasn't eating the way he was supposed to eat. So a lot of times women say they want Prince Charming, but they settle for Beauty and the Beast.
And you are absolutely right. And many times guys do it too. It's just we don't recognize the beast because it's not the beast on the surface.
I agree.
Men will choose the same Beauty and the Beast narrative because you'll see a man of affluence see a pretty girl that works at the bar or the drive-through, or she might be one of the girls that work at the country club, and then he all over.
I agree.
He'll be almost ready to ruin his relationship at home because he got that whole Beauty and the Beast narrative in his head. Okay. It's not the beast on the outside. Sometimes the beast live within.
I'm gonna do the red string theory in the conversation instead of just like a relation. I'm gonna do it differently with this conversation.
Okay.
Feelings and courtesy, then, pops. Like, is it a difference
between feelings and courtesy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I can almost feel where you're going because you got a lot of people that when you courteous to them, that person thinks that you're either making a pass at them.
Mm-hmm.
They think that you're feeling them. They think that you want them. You smile at her too much at work. Now she's thinking, oh, yeah, you know, dude over there to work inside of customer service. Yeah, he want me.
So if I was raised respectfully, like if I was raised right.
Okay.
And in a world full of people, I'm not going to say they wasn't or they was, but if I said I was raised right and I say, hey, you look nice today. Hey, you smell good today.
Mm-hmm.
If I was just raised to say something within 5 feet from a person, does that mean that I'm feeling that person?
No, but you know what though? You have to use discernment also in that situation
Okay.
as to know there's a difference between a hey, how you doing? And a hey, how you doing? Hey, you look nice today.
So I think discernment is gonna be the umbrella then.
It'll be the umbrella because see, we play those little games and there's nuances in that introduction. You know, a lot of guys say, "Oh yeah, a woman act a certain way if I say hi." Bro, if you brush up on her and you coming at her like Casanova, and because I could say, "Hey, how you doing today?"
Mm-hmm.
And I could say, "Hey, how you doing?" It's the same words, but the intention and the sound and my it's a difference.
It's different for sure. It's different. Now, okay, so let me say this then, Pops.
Okay.
I can't help the fact that a lot of people move in Delulu mindsets.
Yeah, I can't either.
So, for example, if I'm having discernment and I'm saying, you know what, I respectfully said this, like I would say it in front of everybody. Like I would say this in front of my mama or
Right.
the person that I'm choosing. Like hell, the person that I'm choosing probably would say you smell nice and you're well put together as well.
Right.
So mindset wise, if that person is moving Delulu, excuse me, on the lines of saying like hey, I think he's feeling me because he's saying these things, is that on me to try to correct it?
What it is on you to do is to let her know I'm not feeling you. It is on you to not bite that chip just because it spilled out the bag.
Okay.
It is on you to not put yourself in that situation. That's on you.
Okay.
Now, if you've done all of those things and they still trying to act like you like them, then you just got to put a little distance between you and that person. If they're at work, I would advise guys, hey, let your boss know, hey man, she keep on pushing up on me. I told her I wasn't interested.
Does that make you weak to do so?
No.
Because a lot of times guys would not say certain things because of those things.
That's true.
No
But
sugar.
the fact of the matter is though, you should say anything that can make you be comfortable instead of you being uncomfortable. You should be able to have that right and that strength to do that. And guys, I mean, we really have to understand that. You can't be the dude that just sit around and let people do and say whatever they want to do and say to you just because you don't want other people to look at you a certain way. That's what's weak.
Okay.
What's weak is not saying what you need to say. What's weak is you not stepping up and saying, hey, look, she crossing my boundaries. And a lot of guys don't have a line they draw in the sand.
I want to
anything
with that.
Anything that comes close to them, they'll grab. Even if they didn't go out the door that day with the intention of picking up a new female.
I want to segue with what you said because what you said had a lot of significance in it.
Okay.
I don't think a lot of men are taught boundaries. Like, I don't think a lot of men are taught how to give boundaries and set boundaries.
I agree with that.
I don't think a lot of men go out in this world with the intentions of respect my boundaries. I think a lot of times they go out with the intentions of saying respect me,
right,
as a person,
right.
But I don't think they're going out with the intentions of saying, "Hey, respect the boundaries that I'm creating."
See, I don't think it's that they don't go out and want people to respect their boundaries. What I think it is that a lot of men aren't taught what the boundaries should be because we high five each other for doing things that cross boundaries. It's just the truth.
No,
we high five each other for that.
I respect.
It's no different than the guys at the construction site. You don't know that lady, but you whistling at her, bro. We high five each other for some things that we shouldn't high five each other for. But then when somebody cross our boundaries, we in a conundrum then because I act this way, but I don't like what she doing. But man, that's going against how I act on a daily basis. So I don't want to look like I'm weak by saying something, and I think that's a mistake.
Okay, so I wanna stay on that.
Okay.
Boundaries in a relationship. When are they set? How are they set? And is it for both parties to set?
Boundaries are set before you get in a relationship.
Okay.
Before you even come to the relationship, you should know what you're going to deal with and what you're not going to deal with. You shouldn't get with somebody and then, okay, I'm going to fill them out and I'm going to try to figure out what boundaries I want to set. No, that ain't how you do it. You got to have your boundaries already. That's your line in the sand. You walk through the door knowing I ain't about to spend $500 on her for dinner. And if that's what it's going to take for me and her to click up, then you know what? We ain't going to go to dinner.
Mm.
See, guys like to try to get to the spot and try to change a woman's mind, just like women like to try to get with the man and try to change that man's mind.
But you know what though? I agree with you 100%. And that's why I mentioned boundaries because pops in my head and my heart, I think boundaries run parallel with non-negotiables. Like
Okay.
those,
Yeah, I mean, for sure.
so because they're one of the same things in a way. Like your boundaries, hey, you know what? This is something I'm gonna say. Hey, I set this in the stone. This is my. Don't cross this line.
Yeah, don't cross it.
Non-negotiables, I feel like is more so on the lines of, hey, this is who I am. Respect it.
Yeah, but you know what though? Those should be in alignment.
Okay.
Your boundaries and your non-negotiables should be in alignment with each other. So you should know if I can't stand this. Like for instance, I'm a person that I'm not a drinker. So my boundary is I wouldn't deal with somebody that is a heavy drinker.
That makes sense. Okay.
So
No, that makes
going
sense.
into
That
the
makes
whole
sense.
scenario, that's not for me to get to the date and then this person end up off their rocker while we there.
Mm,
And then I said, no. I would let that person know up front.
mm.
I don't even think this is gonna work out because you like to party different than I do.
I think a lot of times people wouldn't want to let a person know up front because they wouldn't want to ruin the night. So
Just
you'll see a lot of individuals say, you know what? I know I'm not going to intentionally be with this person, or we're not going to have a long term situation, but hey, I'm gonna rock with it. And it leads me to my question then to you: Can a booty call turn into a relationship?
well, it can,
Okay,
but does it usually? No.
okay, okay.
And
I can dig that.
the reason I say that is because I think of it as the rent a car theory.
Mm,
If you go and rent a car,
okay.
no matter how nice that car is, you have a plan of taking that car back, probably getting your refund on part of it,
Mm,
and going home without that car and going back to your regular life. So when you ask me, can a booty call turn into a relationship? Yes, it can. But it's in the rent a car theory that I would say more than likely it won't because you're going there to rent that car. You're going there with the rental mindset into a dating scenario or into an intimate scenario, whatever you want to call it.
mm-hmm.
And you're not planning on buying that scenario.
In some cases, can't you go and rent that vehicle and like that vehicle so much that that becomes your everyday vehicle
Yeah,
outside of renting it?
you can, but the outliers don't disprove the facts. And
Okay, fair enough. I agree.
that's a couple situations where, man, I liked it so much, we just was together forever. That's not normally how it happened. Normally, you see people talking about he ghosted me,
Okay, fair.
or bro, you know what? We did this, that, and the third, bro, and then she blocked me when I left.
Fair enough. Yeah. No, yeah. So it goes like that on both sides.
Yeah, on the 21st century, it's on both sides.
My thing is this. Okay, I think a lot of the times, pops, I think they can. And the reason why I think they can is because you see so many people have kids off of those. Hey, that's just my sneaky link. That's just my booty call. That's
Right.
just my XYZ ABC. And then after something happens and transpire, now that's your child's mother. Now that's your child's father. And now you're learning your child's mother, your child's father in the process of y'all having kids.
So you never really get to learn who they are.
You only seen her at night. You only seen him at night, so you couldn't really know who he was.
So they, in theory, a booty call can turn into a relationship, but I want to dive deeper.
Okay.
In your opinion, should it?
I'm gonna say this, pops. I don't think so, and I think a lot of times people, okay, it's a, it's like Coca-Cola.
Okay.
You hear some people say that, hey, Coca-Cola can clean up this.
Right.
Coca-Cola can do this.
I heard that before.
You know,
Either Coke or Pepsi, but I know what you're talking about, the rust off a bumper.
but it's designed for me to drink.
Right.
I'm going to drink it. Some things are used for what you use it for. Like, I just feel like, hey, if that's what it's for, then we're going to strictly keep it for that's what it's for. Like, I would go on record to say it wouldn't be an attachment. I wouldn't try to, yeah, I wouldn't even try to make it where it's an illustration that we're talking to each other after this.
You know, but a lot of times people go back and you keep going back to the well for the water. So you got to take what come with the water.
I'm going to say this. I would go on record to say, Pops, when it comes down to should you do it, Nah. Do people do it? For sure. But in my head, Pops, I don't think you should do it. I think genuinely, let's say for example, when you're eating stuff like listen, when you're going grocery shopping,
Okay.
I make it my business not to try to grab the same things over and over.
Variety is the spice of life, some people
You
say.
know, until I know this is what I like. And
Right.
then once I know what I like, I'm going to grab what I like in abundance.
And I'm gonna stock up on it.
Because this is what I like. And I'm gonna say cinnamon rolls is for gold.
Okay.
I like cinnamon rolls now. So if that's what I decided out of all the pastries, I don't want no more pastries. I want my cinnamon rolls.
But see, this the thing. That's a hell of a way to choose, though, because and not that that's wrong,
Okay.
but just think of this. Imagine you are going to the grocery store, like you said,
Mhm.
and you were only going there to get one item,
Mhm.
and when you get to the counter, they take that item and give you a different item. This is what you're leaving with.
Okay.
And that is, in my opinion, what you get when you turn a booty call into a relationship. Again, they can work, but should they? Because a lot of us are oopses.
I'm gonna go on record to say a lot of times the reason why I don't think you should go further in those situations because usually when they're one night stands, I'm gonna change it to one night stands.
Okay.
Usually when they're one night stands, it's hurting people in that moment.
Yeah, because they really just trying to fulfill something for a moment.
She's trying to fulfill something, he's trying to fulfill something. He's looking for something in her, she's looking for something in him. And it's never a I want this a forever thing because we wouldn't be trying to link with each other solely at night if it's a forever thing.
Transactional relationships aren't only about money.
I agree.
What you just described is a transactional relationship. And transactional relationships are rarely forever. You see businesses have transactional relationships between each other, mergers and companies working together. Collabs, I should say, not mergers, but collabs. But then they don't work together no more.
I agree.
So when one isn't getting the benefit that they want, down the line they're gonna drift off because they're going to keep doing what they do. They're going to, because that's a transactional relationship. You two got together because you was feeling bad and you was feeling bad. Together y'all felt good for a second. That's all it's for. That's a transaction. That's not based on love. That's not based on chemistry. That's based on you gonna do this for me, I'm gonna do this for you. Hopefully you get yours.
My thing is this. There's more transactional relationships in 2025 than there are traditional mindsets.
I agree.
It's almost like you can carry a traditional mindset, but if you don't kind of tweak and make it where it's a little bit unorthodox, I don't think you're going to be able to survive in the dating world because everybody comes with NFL rigged rules.
Do you all agree with that? Do you all agree with that? In 2025, do you agree that if you have a traditional mindset, you're going to have a bad time in the modern dating scene? Drop a one if you agree with what Gold said, that if you are going into the modern dating scene with a traditional mindset, you're going to have a bad time. Or drop a two if you believe that you can go into the modern dating scene with a traditional mindset and everything might be peaches and cream for you.
I believe if you go into a relationship with a traditional mindset, chances are you're going to be heartbroken because the average individual is transactional. So the average individual, from what I'm seeing, Pops, I could be wrong, but from what I'm seeing, and for everybody that's listening and everybody that will listen, let me know if I'm wrong or if I'm saying something right. The average individual, when you're entering a situation, I think if you're not vetting that person and that person is not like genuinely trying to love you, let our values equal, and we're really on the same playing field with each other, I personally think you're going to have a bad experience in those situations simply because people are going to ask you, hey, well, what could you do for me? What could you do to me? What could you do with me? They're going to want you to do something for them to do something for you versus it being, hey, you know what? I genuinely like you. So if you were a paraplegic and you couldn't do anything physically for me, hey, I still want to be in your presence. Or if we were just sitting around and we didn't have the funds to go out and go do whatever, we can still enjoy a TV show and a nice lunch almost as if it was a 5-star meal. A lot of times, Pops, transactional is, hey, if this meal ain't over $100, you didn't spend enough.
Do you think that's more about people choosing what they like to look at over the person that likes them the most?
I'm gonna use your words, Pops, in this statement. I think it's now the dating world is a pool of glass that you have to put your hand in and grab a diamond and pray that when you put your hand all the way down, it don't hurt as bad as it would hurt to get that diamond, because you see the diamond in the bottom of the bag.
Yeah, I have said that before.
You see it.
I have said that before, and that's true.
You see the diamond in the bottom of the bag, so it's kind of like how you see people say, "Man, I ain't playing that game that's in the arcades that you grab the teddy bear."
Yep.
But then you see other people say, "I'm finna play this game to grab the teddy bear because I think I can win."
No sugar.
And that's what the diamonds are. That's the good relationship. That's the healthy relationship. That's the I can't not be without her or be without him relationship. So you try to win. And some people gonna say, you know what? I don't care for love. I don't want to play this game.
I've heard that so many times within this year alone.
But there's other people that's gonna come to this arcade just for this game.
But my thing is this though. Are those other people who come to the arcade to play that game, are they unrealistic? In 2025, in the dating in the 21st century,
Okay.
are the people that are looking for modern or better yet traditional love, are they playing a losing game?
I'm gonna be honest with you, Pops. I think we all kind of come into a relationship with unrealistic expectations. Like, I think we all do in a way, Pops. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I think some of us are realists at times, but it's no different than what you said in the beginning of the conversation. The masses aren't when it comes down to it.
Okay.
Right? When entering a relationship, it's kind of almost like hey, you do want this person to be, and
Right.
until their vision is muddy, you are gonna look at them like, oh.
But why do we look past the people that like you? I'm talking about the ones that you don't find that attractive.
Okay, and you know what?
Why don't they get an opportunity?
Confidence.
Okay, speak to me.
I think genuinely the people who like you the most are the most quietest individuals in this world. Rejection dysphoria, the fear of you not feeling that same way, mindset wise, on just being human. The average person don't want to extend themselves and be pushed away. In my opinion.
No, and I don't doubt it, but would they be rejected if we had a mindset that we should be looking for the person that likes us the most? We wouldn't reject that person if that was the mindset. The mindset is, damn, she looked good to me. That's the mindset.
Okay, so look, I think the average person would probably pretend and gas like the masses, but I'm gonna say this, Pops.
Yes, give it to me.
I'm gonna say this. I wouldn't want to talk to an unattractive woman.
Okay.
I wouldn't want to talk to a big woman.
Okay.
So it's unrealistic for me to say, okay, well, if she's the best fit and she's not what I fit as my description as beautiful, I can't be forced by the masses to think that that's what I would perceive as beautiful.
Okay.
I gotta appreciate it's no different than you going out to go buy your car. Chances are, if you buy a car that's a hoopty, you're not gonna take care of it better than the car that you bought that you invested in.
Now I don't want see, I won't even refer to it like it's a hoopty.
No, I'm not.
No. Hear me. I know. What I would say is, we go to a new car lot.
Okay.
I got a sports car I want, but they pull up a minivan. Both of them brand new. I want the 2-seater.
I'm gonna say this, Pops.
I want the 2-seater, not the minivan. But
if everybody watches this that been to a car lot, if we put it in under Pop's analogy, we went to a new car lot,
right?
That new car lot still sells old vehicles.
Facts.
So
no, that's true.
It's no different than
It's
no different than a woman saying you can't teach a old dog new tricks. To me, I look at it and say, even if we go to a new car lot, there's old vehicles there.
So would you take the minivan if you went for the sports coupe?
I would take the minivan if it fits me.
No, but no.
Okay.
You went there for the sports coupe. and they tell you you're going to get the minivan. It's better for you. It fits your life better.
Realistically, if it fit my life better, I would take the minivan over the sports coupe.
So why not?
Realistically.
So realistically, and I appreciate that.
Hmm?
What about you all who watch this? You go to the car lot to go and get a sports coupe, beautiful two-seater, and they pull up a brand new minivan. You didn't ask them for the minivan, but the minivan you could be useful to you.
But it's
They're
what-
both brand new.
It's what fits your background. It was what fits your credit. It's
Okay.
what fits you.
So when it comes down to dating, and I'm lobbying for the people that don't get a whole lot of attention out here.
Pops, what I'm saying is this: the average individual, if you went into that car lot for that sports vehicle, no matter how realistic we can speak and say, okay, well, yeah, I want this minivan, I'll take this minivan. Chances are we're gonna leave. Chances are you're gonna get up and say, I'm okay. And it's no different than a female or a guy that you're settling for, that you don't find as your number one draft pick. Your number one draft pick in this world is the person that you genuinely would say, I will walk, drive, run, fly, or jog to thousands of miles away, or up the street, or down, or just around the room corner, and be happy to do so because that's my person. Versus, again, I think a lot of times guys go through the, females go through the, oh my God. And I think genuinely that's the minivan, because if I came here for the coupe, no matter what my credit says, my heart says I want that coupe.
So my question is to you all, since you don't want the minivan, my man, hey, shout out to my man Brandon. He said he tuning it up. But is it about the looks?
Yes.
Drop a 1 in the chat, you
Yes.
all. If it's about the looks, drop a 2 in the chat. If it's not.
I would
And
say
be real, please.
everybody that's watching, drop y'all ones if y'all go with it. It's y'all saying that
No, it's about the looks.
matters.
Are looks most important?
And then 2,
If they're not, then drop a 2.
I'm gonna say this. I say looks are important because the first thing that pulls, I can't speak for women, but the first thing that pulls a man or me towards a woman is
me too,
how she looks.
I can't lie. I mean, I just want to see.
I'm not going to be pulled to her off of how much money she makes. I'm not going to be pulled to her off of what she's saying and how high her college level is. I'm not going to be pulled to her off of those things. I'm gonna be infatuated. I'm going to be mentally stimulated, but those things come after my first initial, damn, she look good.
So could you pick a partner that you would want to be with if there was a wall between you where you couldn't see them?
No.
I want you all to drop a 1 in the chat. If you could pick a partner that you would want to be with, if there was a wall in between you and them, drop a 2 if you couldn't, drop a 1 if you could. Brandon said, I feel there has to be physical attraction. I appreciate you saying that. Miss April Murray, I want to know, does it have to be physical attraction between the two?
I would say, Pops, in my head and my heart, it matters.
Okay.
Like, that physical attraction, I think it creates for better chemistry.
All right.
When we're physically attracted to each other, our comedian sides come out better than when we're not. When we're physically attracted to each other, our empathy comes out more than when we're not.
Okay.
When we're feeling some type of way, when your partner is attractive, you'll be more likely to be like, you know what, fuck that. All right, cool. All right. The reality to it is, when it comes down to the physical attraction, I'm just gonna go on record to say, in my opinion,
right,
that matters more than certain things, realistically.
Okay. And no, and hear me when I tell you, I think beauty is important, sure. But I do think there's something to be said for that's not always the most important thing. That's what I feel. I just don't feel like that's always the most important thing when it comes down to it. Although I will admit that is what's going to pull you to that person.
And that's why I said, Pops, the initial reaction of, hey, that person looks nice is the first thing. I think mental stimulation comes afterwards. I think a lot of times people gaslight and lie to everybody and say, yo, well, you got to mentally stimulate me first and I can just pick you through the wall. I can't pick you through the wall. And some people probably can. And I'm personally saying I can't.
No, I understand that.
Because if I'm through a wall, my first instant reaction is, how you look?
Now, something that Miss April said is that, hey, your mouth can make you very unattractive when you start talking, the things you say, the different way that you speak, how much profanity you use, just the way you present yourself and the things that you talk about. Because it's not always whether you're the most educated person talking or not that makes a person either turned on or turned off. Many times it could be voice inflection. The sound of your voice can be either good or bad for some people.
Overly talking about physical things.
That's a great one right there, Gold, because many times guys wonder why they start off messaging a woman, things seem like they're going good for them, and then next thing you know, she does not want to talk to you anymore. And many times that has to do with the subject matter that you're presenting to her. Because sometimes we'll get so overstimulated when you're talking to somebody that you'll say something and you done moved a little too fast.
I think a lot of times when we're talking to people, we rush. And I think Pops, one of the key things that is in my head right now is being patient. BS.
Facts.
Instead of bullshit, be still.
Facts.
Like in the moments where it's chaotic, and I believe being happy can be considered a chaotic moment.
It is.
Because being happy, being head over heels can make you do things that you wouldn't do if you was just level headed.
It's just the opposite of sad.
So
being sad can make you feel chaotic and being happy can.
Be still. I would genuinely say in the moments of you genuinely just being overly happy or overly sad, I think you should just be still, because I'm gonna kind of piggyback off of what Miss April said. The things that you say matters just as much as that physical attraction to me.
Facts.
Because that physical attraction is, let's treat it like an E-way. E-ways have multiple ways to get to
multiple lanes.
So that's something that's running parallel with the physical attraction. That's not the physical attraction is not a standalone E-way.
What percentage would you say when you're making a choice of somebody to date? What percentage would you say physical attraction is?
10%. 10%.
What percentage would you all say?
Everybody that's watching this, everybody that will watch this, what is that percentage for you in your situations? But I'm going to stand on 10%. I'm going to ask you, what would it be for you?
Probably about 25%.
Okay.
25%. Yeah, it's a quarter of it, because that's going to catch my eye. But then the conversation, definitely. You got to have some type of personality.
Okay.
You have to. I mean, if you just if it's like a piece of paper and I got to write everything on it, it's a no-go for me.
Okay.
And then what's your weird? It's got to be something that make you different.
I like that.
It's got to be something that makes you different. I mean, because you could get a person with a good personality, you could get a person that could talk a good game, but what makes you stand out? What makes you different from everybody else? And why should you get that opportunity? You know, and I don't think a lot of guys think about it that way, but why should you get the opportunity to date me? Just like, you know, you got a lot of guys that feel as if hey, I got a great opportunity to date her. Well, guys, you have to present the aura and the image that it's a great opportunity to date me too. It's a hell of an opportunity to be around.
If you went to a job, they'll ask you, why do you want to work at this job? So it should be no different on asking this lady in front of you, hey, why do you want to be around me?
Facts.
It should be no different.
Hey, what made you say yes to me? It's that easy.
I agree.
Guys, it's an easy question. I mean, and if it's humana, Ralph Cramden, and she don't know how to verbalize why, then she's probably not really there because she likes you.
Okay.
She might be looking for a good time for the day.
I'm finna segue then, Pops.
Let's go.
Is it okay for women to spend money on men the way that you will hear women say they would want men to spend money on them?
If she's financially able, absolutely. Okay. Why not?
For
If her
everybody,
purse works good, why not?
for everybody that's watching and will watch, do you think it's okay for a woman to be able to spend money on a man, no different than how you will hear a woman say a man should spend money on a woman?
I absolutely think so, and I see nothing wrong with it because if she's spending money on you along with respecting you, along with treating you good, why not? You're that guy to her.
Okay.
A woman will never have a problem spending money on him. See, every woman, there's only one him for her.
Mm,
Everybody else are you. You're just you. There's only one him for her. So if you're him, she ain't gonna have no problem spending no money on you.
I'm gonna say this, pops. The reason why I asked that question is because I think when it comes down to women spending money on men, it's looked at as a bad thing.
Mm.
And on my end, I'm gonna go on record to say I genuinely prefer a woman to show me she rock with me that way.
Yeah.
Because in my head and my heart, when she starts giving gifts, it shows that she really cares. And the thoughtful gifts that she gives, it reflects how she feels about me. And I genuinely look at it and say, when it comes down to the ideal of a woman spending money, it's almost kind of like, oh my God, no, 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 no. And it's automatically deemed to what did you do for that woman for her to spend money on you? And the reality to it is, why couldn't it be perceived the same way for a woman? On the lines of, hey, what did she do for you to make you spend money on her?
I feel as if, like April said, reciprocity. I feel as if
Okay.
you're a guy and you're financially stable, you'll have no problem spending money on her.
Okay.
The problem is when you spend money on all of them. See, she has to get to be her to you in order for her to get those benefits of her. The problem you see with a lot of guys nowadays is that they overinvest in a woman who isn't her to him because you're not him to her. You're just
Mm-hmm.
spending your money on her and you expecting her to do something to reciprocate that. And that's not how it works unless you agree from the start that it's a transactional relationship. But if you choose right and she is your her, spend it, bro. Just like it's no problem. She shouldn't have no problem buying me anything. And I personally think that guys should look out the corner of their eye if she does have a problem with it. Especially if you treating her right.
I would go on record to say I agree with Brandon on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Gifts don't always have to be something that costs money. I think that's something that I will run parallel with it. But I'm gonna stay on spending money really quick.
Okay.
When it comes down to spending money, I think genuinely there's so many men in this world that would look down on it, a woman spending money, or so many women in this world who will look down on them spending money on their guy. But I'm gonna go on record to say I think genuinely men want to be appreciated too. I
I
think
agree.
genuinely when a man worked 16 hours, 12 hours, I'm not talking about for all men. Like, I'm not talking about for all men. I'm talking about stand up guys now.
Right. Let's go.
If this guy is a
Gentlemen.
gentleman, if this man is a gentleman, this man is doing things that he's supposed to do and he's actually leading. I personally feel that he should be treated in a certain light of saying, hey, I appreciate him.
No sugar.
To say thank you
Agreed.
to say thank you could be considered a gift to a man because the average man doesn't hear thank you.
Facts.
So to say thank you is a gift to a man. To
True.
be able to say, hey, you know what? I got an appreciation card, or hey, I just made your favorite dinner, and this dinner is dedicated to you.
See, and I want to clarify something. When I talk about a woman spending money on her man, I don't necessarily mean a high amount. And everyone whose mind went to spending a large amount, that shows exactly what you're out here doing and what you got on your mind. Because it ain't always about the amount. You could spend $9 on something. If it's sentimental to me, I'm gonna love it. You don't have to go and spend $500 on a vintage jersey just for me to say thank you.
I like this, and I agree, April. This is why you should date in your financial bracket. And this is I changed it to saying date your speed because I genuinely feel like as a man, if you're spending thousands of dollars, I don't think you should get a $200 gift. I don't believe in pops. I'm not gonna go against what you're saying, but I'm gonna add on to what you're saying and saying that I do think you should spend a large amount.
Okay.
Because in my head and my heart, when it comes down to traditional values, like just learning traditional values, if I'm locking in with a woman, her family is going to pay for this wedding.
Facts.
So mindset wise, if we're going off a traditional mindset, some people settle for just going to the courthouse at times. But if you're going off a traditional mindset, your
Yeah.
parents are supposed to pay for this wedding, and I'm supposed to maintain what they created.
No sugar.
We're supposed to be an extension of this business because we're a business partner now. It's a business merger in my head. So mindset wise, I think dating in your bracket is important because if he's a guy that can't afford to go to the restaurants that you like, I don't think you should try to force the issue out of that guy to take you to those restaurants that you like. Find somebody that can, and vice versa for the Kings. Hey, genuinely, if you want to feel appreciated, I think you should align yourself with somebody that you say, if you can take her to Jamaica for 4 days, let her be able to take you to Aspens for 4 days.
But you know what, too? And I want to jump into this. Even if a man can take you to Jamaica for 4 days, if she can't take time off of work or could use that money for the light bill, and this is my thing, and I do partly agree with you on this, April, that when you have that lopsided dynamic, when it come down to finances, one person always feel like they spending way more than the other one, and that does cause strife, struggle, and strain. But the only time it doesn't is when that man is him to her. And I want to explain this real quick. I think that if she really, really is into that man, that money that she spend ain't gonna be no problem. He ain't gonna have no problem with his light bill because she gonna make sure that she assists him in leveling up to the point where he doesn't have a problem with that light bill. And just like a man would do for a woman. If that person you choose is your him or your her, there should be no problem with you bringing them up to speed.
I want to run parallel,
male or female.
And this is something that I want to kind of piggyback with Brandon with. I don't disagree with you, but I want to give you a different understanding on, like, a different outlook on my opinion. When it comes down to a person seeing you struggle, she wouldn't be my person if she can watch me struggle.
No sure.
So if you had those moments where you know for a fact that, hey, I'm with this person, it's no different than that person being with you. The first person she should come to is you, not her dad. First person you should go to is her. Like, hey, if that's my partner, if I can trust you with my body and I'm doing things with you physically, I can trust you with my body, no different than a woman trusting you with her body. I'm supposed to be able to tap in with you.
Facts.
I'm supposed to be able to lock in with you. I'm not supposed to go through those months because I'm supposed to find somebody that's going to be able to balance. The months that I'm down, you're up. The days that I'm down, you're up. The days that you're down, I'm up. The days that you might not be right, I'm right. So it's supposed to be an equal balance and not more so of the when we're down, when I'm down, you down. When you down, I'm down.
You know, my thing is also, Gold, and I agree with you 1,000% because my thing is, does he have to make the same amount of money as you or more just for you to even like him? Because if that man, if you really dig him, you really like this man and you got it like that,
money wouldn't be more than my friendship.
Why is that such a big deal? Because you see a lot of times men will make a substantially larger amount of money than the woman he chooses. He don't have no problem putting her in the big house with him. So I don't think it should be a problem the other way around if a woman chooses a man who makes substantially less than her, but he loves her right. He appreciates her. He fills her cup up. He does what she loves behind closed doors. That man is your handyman. He's your confidant and everything else. The money more important than that?
Okay, so I got a question, Pops, because this is interesting. I want to hear this from your standpoint. Does appreciation varies in a man's age? So like in 20s and 30s, does he care less to be appreciated or care more to be appreciated than men in their 50s and 60s?
No, and I think respectfully, I think that's a problem that people always thought of. Younger men want to be appreciated too.
Okay.
I want to be appreciated right now as much as I did when I was 20.
And what age would you represent?
I represent over 50.
Okay.
So I want to be appreciated right now just as much as I did when I was 20. And when I was 20, I wanted to be appreciated. Hey, what's up? Welcome in, Chapo J. I wanted to be appreciated, and I think most brothers would agree with that. That we want to be appreciated whether we 25 or we're 65.
I think the average man, I think the average man perishes at 27 and he just get buried at 72. The
Man,
average man goes through life unalive and they're just waiting to kind of be put down in a way because they're choosing not to be appreciated or to not say something. And I think honestly, in my head and my heart, it's a mindset. Every man is going to accept something or they're not.
you either demand appreciation or you live your relationship chasing.
And in my head and my heart, I demand appreciation. I demand respect because in my head and my heart, pops, it's a mindset behind it. It got to be an equal balance. It can never be I'm spending XYZ amount on you, and because you're with me and you know I make more, you're not spending. No, I would rather talk to somebody who wants to spoil me like I want to spoil them, enjoy me like I enjoy them. I like gifts as well, and I feel like a lot of times we forget love languages. Love languages is service of act, words of affirmation, gift giving,
No sugar.
physical touch,
No sugar.
quality time.
Come
The
on.
average individual will talk to a person that's uneducated when it comes to love. And I think you will forget that gift giving is a love language.
And it's not just a love language for ladies.
No, gift giving. Dr. Gary is somebody that you guys can do y'all research on because he's the one who made love languages, and you guys can kind of go down that rabbit hole on your own. But free game when it comes from Coach G. Gift giving, if a man or a woman says, you know what, I do want you to kind of hit my hand, baby. Hey, I do want you to give me a gift. Hey, baby, I do want to feel good and appreciated. That's not a problem. Services of act, a person saying, you know what, I'm going to decorate this house for you, baby, or I'm going to make sure that I set out this table and I'm going to make you feel like a king today,
No
or
sugar.
vice versa for the queens. Services of act is not a bad thing. And a lot of times our experiences shape our perception. So we would feel like the way that we live throughout life, no matter if it was good or if it was bad, it's right because our experiences shape our perception.
And the way that you look does not affect what you need to do for me.
Come on.
See, we have somehow turned the corner in the 21st century of dating, and somehow people starting to think that because I look a certain way or I can present to look a certain way, that I don't have to do nothing else but look a certain way. And that's not it. Men want to be appreciated just like women want to be appreciated. Men want to be celebrated just like women want to be celebrated.
That man go to work, and I got a story, quick story, because I agree with what Chapo J just said. Men that want to be appreciated is a sign of vulnerability to most women who can't accept a man who wants to be appreciated. I've heard a man get called sassy for telling his lady, "Hey, I want dinner after work. I want to be able to have some water ran for me after work because he worked at a factory and the factory stunk. Like it smelled bad. He was like, hey, I just want to come in, hey, jump in, hey, and then be able to eat my food and relax. She was like, well, that sounds like a female. You want your water ran? You want some food done? Why don't you go get some food on your way home, jump in the shower, and just come in and relax?
See,
And mindset wise, they argued, but he was cool with it afterwards.
but you know what? She'll be angry with him if he finds a woman that will do that for him and deviates toward that woman. She'll be angry with him.
I seen a guy get told by a woman, hey, only thing I want from you to do, only thing I want you to do after work is rub my feet.
Rub my feet.
He said, I ain't rubbing your, man, I ain't doing that shit, man. I'm playing the game.
That's what he said to
He
her.
said, I'm playing the game.
See,
She said, rub my feet.
somebody gonna rub her feet.
I would go on record to say, no matter how you shape the ball or how you tip the scale, appreciation goes so far. There's a part, I'm not sure if you guys read a book called Blink. It's a great book, but there's a part in the book called Blink, and I ain't gonna give all the good parts away because I hope you guys can read it. But there's a part in Blink where they talk about male practitioners getting sued.
Okay.
And the reason why they get sued is because of 2 minutes. 2 minutes, somebody takes the time out to explain to you and just appreciate you. It separates the difference between people being sued and not being sued. 2 minutes. On the lines of you taking the time, energy, and effort out to say, hey, thank you. Hey, much obliged. Hey, I appreciate you. Hey, whatever your gesture of thank you is
Right.
for that moment.
You know, and so many times we practice not saying thank you.
Man,
Ladies, when we hold the door for you.
men,
Guys, when we hold the door for
come
you.
on.
Because we hold the door for you, bro, and you just walk up like
I suppose
like I'm Jeeves or I'm the doorman or something.
Come on. Like you give me $20 when you leave.
Bro, like
I'm the chauffeur.
so we practice a lack of appreciation. And I try to tell people, practice makes perfect. You can't just turn on manners. You can't just turn them on when you want to turn them on. And it always seeps into a good relationship or situation and ruins it, just like ink goes through your pocket when you leave your pen in there. Why? Because you didn't take 2 minutes or 2 seconds to take it out.
You know how you could tell Pop's appreciation is so underrated in the now, right now? Because we've always talked, love thy neighbor.
Right.
That's something that I will hope everybody heard, love thy neighbor.
No sugar.
You know? Everybody that's watching this, everybody that will watch this, when you go to the grocery store, the next time you go to the grocery store, count how many people speaks to you when you make eye contact and y'all in a 5-foot radius.
None hardly.
Count them.
None hardly.
And that should show you how society has made it okay to be unappreciative or cool like the other side of the pillow, on the lines of I do have manners, where if we was to lock eyes or if we was to be in a 5-foot radius, we're going to say something to each other.
I walk through the store and see a brother in the store and, hit him with the head nod. They don't even hit you with the head nod back no more.
Come on.
It's not hard to appreciate a stranger, and it's definitely not hard to appreciate the person that you with. I just feel like many times we lose track on it because we let our eyes guide us. And I'm always going to go back to that. We let our eyes guide us. You even heard Gold say, I couldn't choose a good partner if there was a wall in between us. I got to at least see her. See, many times we allow what we're looking at to be the reason why we don't say what we need to say to that person. We don't react to the things, the disrespect, the negative things that they do around us. We don't react to it because we want to keep them.
And I think the flip side of it, Pops, people will go against what their eyes see for what their ears hear. They'll have the biggest red flag in front of them, and because he can talk a certain way, hey, it ain't a red flag no more, it's white.
You got to use all your senses, not a couple of them.
And it goes back to discernment.
And you know what, Chapo? I said that earlier, and I said I wasn't even going to mention that part of it, bro. But to be honest with you, remember when I said it, we was outside?
You know how we could say it, though? The shutdown of the world made it where genuinely society has, I would say, separated.
Man.
And Pops, hey, you know what? When you said it, I agreed then and I agree now. I agree publicly and I agree privately that genuinely that took away the ability for men to walk up on a woman and be able to have a conversation. That took away women feeling comfortable and being able to say, you know what? Hey, he's walking down. I bet. I like him. I like him. It made it where relationships are malfunctioning so bad. Instead of people putting oil on it, they just grabbing water.
Facts.
They just trying to grab water just to keep it going. Hey, put water on it. Keep it going.
And it's sad, but the fact of the matter is, it's what we deal with in 2025. It's what we deal with on a daily basis. But if we keep having these spirited conversations, if we keep on meeting here every day, and if you came in and you didn't catch the whole show,
roll it back.
Or go to YouTube
and catch it.
Rice's Rules. Just like the name Rice D, Rice'' Rules. Go there. It'll be a black hockey mask on there. Subscribe up. Watch all of the shows that we got because we rolling now. So I want to thank everybody for popping in and locking in with us today. And don't forget, if you haven't hit that like button, hit it on the way out. This has been the Golden Pop Show. I'm your
Be
man,
safe,
Rice
y'all.
D, aka Pops the American Dad. To my Facebook folks, Uncle Rice.
Mr. Gold, Go, Coach G for short. Everybody out here on this summer day, be safe. I ain't gonna lie to you, it's hot outside.
No sugar. And we